assumed this to be his meeting. Brand new to the production department and only a lance corporal, I was overwhelmed to be treated by everyone there like an old pro, especially by the fellow in charge, who struck me as cheerful and energetic, though a bit of a dandy. Already a radio celebrity in Ontario, Ray Purdy was surprised to learn, as he handed me a rum and coke and sat beside me on his bed, that I knew nothing about him or his career. Nothing. He was very surprised. So we went overseas. I wasn't an officer then. I was just working on a part of one of those little shows that they divided us into, and I was supposed to go here and there and all over the place. And in fact, I had an accident and I hurt my head and I wasn't allowed to dance anymore. So I got onto headquarters staff and I was choreographer for all the little units that came and went from England. And there may have been 30, 35, 36 units. And they went out and back and out and back, and every time they were out 2 or 3 months, they'd come back to be renewed and have new costumes and new dance material, new music and everything. Out they would go again. And they were just constantly coming into the headquarters. We had maybe 3 at a time in headquarters, 5 on leave, and another 7 sort of around the world. Who knew where they were? So that was what we did overseas, and then the war was over. And we came back, and neither one of us sort of thought anything about it, but somehow there was a big production that needed a producer, and I thought of Ray, and I phoned him, and I said, there's a show that needs you. And that was the beginning of our getting together again. Well, we were married, and I was pregnant, and I was home with Mom in Vancouver, and Ray went off to New York. And there's a marvelous, marvelous bit in the book, I think, but I'm not going to tell you. It's all about fancy dancing and how, indeed, Ray met William S. Paley, the head of CBS, and got a 7-year contract. 7 years as a producer-director with CBS. And he'd been on his feet in New York, slugging around, knocking on doors for at least 3 months with no success at all. And suddenly he had a 7-year contract. And that's fancy dancing.